The drop's coming.
Oh, can you feel it? Ladies and gentlemen, the hot match of the week. Astralis, Ninjas, and Pyjamas on Vertigo.
Oh, my word.
Brought to you by Harry, Hugo, and myself, being Trace.
Oh,
Let's kick it off.
I love it.
Get it on.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, okay. I love this. I love it, man. I can't believe they trusted not just me and Hugo to come back for another season, but they then brought you in here.
What a mistake.
Yeah. They've really messed this one up, but let's see anyway, right? Let's try and have a bit of decorum. It's round one. Magisk and Dupree actually off to a good start for Astralis, but it's immediately cancelled out. That's thanks to Plopsky and Lekro. And now this mid-wrap looking to come in. Glaive is the only man at this B side of the map to try and make a stand. He has shut down the first, looking to get a bit more done, but he's looking cold as ever in the server is Glaive there. He gets popped up, mopped up, whatever. It's a 2v2, but that bomb's not down just yet.
Yeah, no rush for NIP. They don't know where Astralis are coming from on these rotations just yet, so don't want to force the fight. They came in from CT, so they know that position is theirs for the time being. Bomb planted for it, but man's still stuck on the site. The rest doesn't mind. He's going to get the kill, and Lekro's wrapped in from mid as well. He'll find Zipnix trying to come in through that window. NIP, a good start to the pistol, a good start to this series, and their first round taken on the T side.
And, you know, honestly, you look at that round and you say, okay, well, yeah, there was a real chance with the trading and everything considered that this could have gone either way. So, looking at it, though, it didn't go the way of Astralis. It was there the heroics of Rez and Lekro to kind of curve the round out, giving a nice pistol here from Nip.
Yeah, you know, we're going to see that immediate force buy back in from Astralis, Trace. Now, I kind of imagine this is exactly what we would see. They're keen on taking this fight here and now. And we've got an immediate duel over here for this top ramp control. Now, what we've seen from the Danes is that they are more than willing to fight for this side of the map, and they always try and lock down this ramp early on. That scout was here, and that's already found some damage over onto Rez, so that might actually be enough to slow NIP down. You know, you don't really want to let this this scout chip you down and leave you in the firing line for these pistols. Especially because, you know, if you're NIP, you've heard a couple of weapons firing off now. You've heard a couple of footsteps. You kind of have a good idea that Astralis have quite the presence towards this side of the map. And so they've just quieted right down. They've stopped moving. They've stopped really giving too much of a hint that they're over here. Maybe in the hope that Astralis rotate away. That doesn't look to be the case. Instead, they're actually going to flash down the ramp, and it's Plopsky to find the opener. But Magisk is in with the return, and then they counter flash off the back of it to deny any trade attempt from NIP. Astralis, they've got it back into a 4-on-4.
Yeah, and they've still got 3 players on this site, a 4th even coming in on rotation. Astralis are fully convinced, and they should be. Every man here from the Ninjas. Plopsky trying to find his way up through the sandbags. Glaive's found a Deeg on the site, just hiding below the plant spot. Lekro coming in from the short side, and he catches Magisk looking away. That's a good kill, but it needs to be more. NIP, 25 seconds. There's Glaive off of the site, and they can now pick the bomb back up, but Astralis still have 2 players here ready and waiting.
Oh, I mean, you can feel it happening. You can feel this one slipping out of control. Rez tries, but it's not going to be good enough. And Astralis, they'll steal that one away with the force buy. They get the job done. This scout does so much damage on every player that's pushing on up, and then the pistols are just there to finish things off. I mean, NIP, that's going to leave you feeling very, very sour, considering as well how many rifles they put into this round alongside the couple of MAC-10s that they had.
I mean, just looking at how they approached the bomb site right there, right? They kind of got, I don't want to say stop, but they became a little bit stagnant towards the ramp, and obviously them going into pistols and that sort of buy. It is a really scary, tense situation if you are the side of NIP.
It was actually the counter flash that did so much for Astralis, because they had so much utility in that round. When NIP established a 4-on-4, Magisk gets a kill, and then Astralis just flash him off, and NIP have to back up. They're forced to, you know, fall back into a 4-on-4 and then re-attack the A side. But at that point, Astralis have every single man there, so ready and waiting were they. And now, reaping the benefits of winning that force buy, they are onto AKs, or at least one of them on Zipnix. He's pushed all the way down the ramp, denying this control for NIP, but they are waiting in the wings, wanting to come back in for a little bit more. Zipnix, he's making his presence known, but does he know there's 5 Ts around the other side? It's going to get sloppy, it's going to get messy, and damage has already been done. The grenades finding very little, and the Deegs a lot more.
And that's the thing. I think if you're an IP, you already know that you're going to have Astralis challenging this ramp area time and time again. And so I imagine this is going to be a pretty a pretty frequent sight, right, for NIP hanging around looking to get these kills. And they're trying to turn something that Astralis had as their strong point here on Vertigo against them and trying to make it into a bit of a weakness, right? Taking these two players that they know are going into the front line and using them to create this space. And now they're sat 5-on-3 up. There's been no ability to trade over on the Astralis camp. And there's still a chance here that this one can get out of hand for the Danes. Oh dear, it just might be flawless device. There's smokes in the way, but he's still getting tagged up. He's running, but he's not escaping anytime soon. Plopsky with 3, and I think as well, the fact that he's showing up early on here is a good sign for NIP.
It definitely is that. You look at the numbers. And obviously, this one's been back and forth so far. I mean, they're both biting for a little bit of time here, trying to stabilize economy. Well, that's just not the game we're watching yet, is it? Yeah,
Magix was stuck in a real unfortunate position. The full site execute came on from NIP, and they cut off those two CTs line of sight. So we just had to double back towards A, check there was no one pushed up and planting. He re-aggressed, Nork spots him, and at that point, it's Magic's choice to push or wait for NIP to clamp down on him. Got info on the bomb, but I don't think that's going to be a surprise. As you said in the previous round, Harry, NIP, they're going to be here a lot, and Astralis know it. Sure, we're going to be seeing similar signs on Astralis' T side abusing this A side ramp. But right now, we're seeing a bit of a default. After back-to-back A rounds here for NIP, they start to spread out a little bit, show presence all over the map. A man holding middle, one outside of B, and just this 3-man default up on A to make sure Astralis don't get too comfortable.
Comfortable as you may, 5 Deagles on the side of Astralis is a pretty scary time, all things considered. Could actually turn out to be not so fun here for NIP. They're going to have all of this weaponry, all this utility to use to try to get back into the site here. Doesn't look like they fully committed over yet. That bomb's transitioning.
Yeah, well, so it's all these smokes that interest me, because it's like on a map like Inferno, you can go for these smoke delay plays, right? And then these pistols become very, very viable as the timer gets closer and closer to 0. But on Vertigo, it can be a lot harder to set these up. So I'm wondering exactly what these smokes are going to get used for here as this play is coming in.
They've been recycling them every round to this smoke you see by the crane, just to give you a headshot angle. Zipnis can fight ramp without being super exposed because of that smoke landing above his head. But unfortunately, Astralis have found very little value from that utility in these last couple of rounds. I remember that smoke, Harry, because when we went to EPL finals, I'm pretty sure it was in, I wouldn't say last year. Was it the year before that? I can't even remember.
No, it was last year.
It was North, using these smokes consistently and then playing around them on the crane against ATK, now Cloud9. They were getting punished every single time. Those smokes, I remember, were useless in that match that North used them. But the fact that Astralis are continuing to throw them in
they
makes
must
me
see something in them.
Yeah, it makes me feel like they are believing in them. I see the use for it. We're just not seeing the kills come out yet.
It's not come to fruition.
It's early days.
No, yeah. And that's something else I was going to say, right? So, you know, we look at how these last few rounds have kind of gone down, right? And for NIP, they've just been challenging these players that have gone aggressive at ramp. I think the reason why that's been so successful thus far is Astralis haven't had these AWPs on device, a man who's normally so comfortable peeking down that ramp position. You haven't had the AWP come out just yet, and so, you know, Krieg's over on the T side, they naturally do kind of lend themselves better to that early game fight. I can't wait to see what NIP's answer to this AWP that you know is going to come in towards ramp at some point in these coming rounds. That's something I really want to keep an eye on. Like, what little innovative ideas do they have to deal with it?
Astralis have spent the entire game on eco so far, it feels, as more Deagles come out, lacking the armor on most players. Magisk, he's trying to take that fight that you would typically see an AWP in, but not as well endowed in this round. It's going to just be a Deag spot. NIP back off towards the site. Sorry, Astralis back off towards the site, rather. NIP going through the motions, mollying out sandbag, clearing out the close cubbies. Short can be dangerous, definitely up against pistols as well, but NIP have at least gain control of that for the time being. We've not seen any aggressive rounds from Astralis, any hyperactive flanks coming in, but hopefully once rifles start to be shown and NIP consistently go for these A plays, Astralis will have the flanks. For now, it's just standard rotations and a bit of a boost to send Magisk high and dry.
Yeah, and I think at this point, it's obviously we're looking at Astralis here that haven't found that footing in the match, nor the confidence to kind of go for those things, which does make sense. You haven't even been given a stable platform to stand on just yet, because you don't have any rifles. You got nothing.
And also the danger of going for those flanks is if NIP kill you on it, they can double back into the B site, into middle, wherever they want. But if you rotate safely, you know it. You know, even if NIP are getting this plant, you're going to have a 5-on-5 on the A site. You're going to be able to fight. Unfortunately, though, those fights just aren't very favorable. As you can see, smoke's fading, and finally lines of sight opened up. But versus the Kriegs, these Deegs are going to concede.
And, you know, like so often whenever we see... Yeah, man, you proud of that one?
Yeah.
Kriegs.
Concede. Yeah.
You missed
it's
Deegs,
like a
but
near...
Deegs.
Yeah, man.
That was another one.
Three of them in there, dude.
I don't want to blow it all on day one.
Yeah, no, that's fair, man. Save the gold, you know? Like, we want those paychecks to be coming in till at least the 10th night. We'll see if we can keep going further than that.
Probably not.
But the thing that I'm like... Sorry, no, I'm trying to think. I had something to say in relation
really
to what Trace
it.
was saying, but now I got so focused on your little rhyming
flanks,
platforms. Yeah, do you know, I got nothing.
Well, you got the AWP, at least on device.
Yeah, we finally get to see that. So, you know, if you wanted to look at something nice and positive, we are going to get to see the big green gun in the hands of the big green man.
The big green man.
Yeah, not the Hulk, actually. Is it the Green Giant from the Sweet Corn adverts? You ever seen that? Yeah.
That's who Device... Sweet Corn, or was it like a bean advertisement?
I swear it's Sweet Corn. It's green. No, actually, I know it's Sweet Corn. You know, there's no debate in this.
Green
Let's
Giant.
see Device, man. He's down towards ramp, and he's the big green giant with the AWP in hand. And, oh, well, not exactly sweet. It's a little bit corny, though, because Rez actually going to get the opener here, peeking over the top of the box, trying to help out his teammate Twist.
Yeah, good shot there by Rez. He's on fire right now. I think that's his 8th kill in the game thus far, from round 5, round 6. So, nice stuff here from Rez. Good start.
That's what you like to see. You can see Astralis, they really want to fight on this A ramp. They're putting a lot of players towards it, even after losing that first fight, just knowing that desperately we need something. We need a kill. We need ground. And there's nothing going their way. Magisk rotation off of mid will be heard by Lekro. And will he choose to exploit that gap? Still a B-site potential play here for NIP, but Dupree has knocked down the first man entering that site. The bomb taking its sweet time. And Astralis have sent another rotation over. Magisk leaving mid, joining B. Zipnik's now taking over middle, and NIP are walking into a trap. Yeah,
these little preemptive rotates from Astralis, I mean, we now know that they are very much in the heads of NIP. They know where this one's ending up. Even, you know, pulling Glaive away from the A bomb site more towards the CT side allows for these faster rotations. That said, Lekro and Twist have just removed both players inside of the bomb site. So Astralis might have known what was the game plan, or at least had a bit of an inkling. But it's NIP to land all the shots and actually create this space over towards B. They've got that bomb down now. And Zipnix and Glaive, they're throwing into this retake. A man down, very low on utility. Flashbang goes in, and Rez is going to find himself another kill in this round. He'll take 3 at the very, very end. 10-1. You were just saying how he was looking good, Trace. He's continuing, keeping that up here into round number 6. And, wow, NIP 5-1 up.
That's despicable as well. That was all off the back of Astralis's, you know, own brain. They knew what was going on. They smoked off the bottom of A. They showed the AWP presence. NIP decided to avoid it. They go back towards B. Astralis, they establish a 4-on-4 with all the information, with the knowledge that NIP are hitting this B site, yet still the kills come through for the Swedes. Fantastic stuff. And a 5-1 lead to start off their opening game here at EPL. Not what you would expect.
It definitely would make things a little bit easier here for NIP. Just go ahead and take a map right from Astralis in this best of 3.
Speaking too soon.
Yeah, speaking too soon. We're talking about 2 Deagle kills here from the side of Astralis. They've already netted themselves 4. Glaive being the only one to fall alongside of Dupree. Next to him, 3v3. Now we're going to see a bit of a transition here.
And right there is the danger of those flanks that we talked about, right? Dupree just got aggressive down on the B stairs. He didn't go past the choke point, but he did get spotted, and that's just given the site away. Astralis had a 3-on-3. They had a capable situation, and now they've lost the B site. And with that, likely all hope. Device yet to frag. Picking up a Krieg, no armor, is going to try and give this one a go, and I don't blame him. But how realistic is this with his teammates so smoked off? Not at all. Device is gone. The round is done. 6-1.
Yeah, well, forget we said anything. You know, NIP, best team in the world,
like we all knew.
NIP Magic, you know, not even the same team remotely. But I've just headbutted the screen behind me. I'm breaking the studio. Everything's going wrong. And same kind of story in the server. Device, we were bigging him up from the very beginning of this, you know, waiting for that AWP to come in. And we're still waiting for that AWP to come in. He sat down bottom of the board. Now, you know, NIP off to a great start, and one of the things that I like is, you know, in those first 4 or 5 rounds, all they do is play in towards A. And so they really set that precedent in the heads of Astralis that, okay, we are just going to rinse, repeat this A bomb site. And then finally, you know, when those rifles come out and they spot the AWP over on the side of Astralis, they spot that they've got everything they could possibly need. There's that 1 kill from Rez down towards A ramp, and then NIP just goes silent. They just stop. They don't appear anywhere. And so Astralis, you know, they've seen a kill come in over at A, they preemptively rotate, and that's what leads NIP in the end, you know, even though Astralis do have the correct read eventually to continue kind of putting this streak up. So they've conditioned the Danes at this point in time to be very, very worried about these early kills and to maybe over-rotate. Let's see if that continues to play into this series. I mean, NIP, they're already very, very happy with this scoreline.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Astralis, they're trying to fight back on the A ramp again. They've got 3 players on the site. Were initially looking down behind that smoke, but now it has faded, and NIP can win these battles very easily with Kriegs. Letcro giving us an example as to how and why. Device dead, Glaive trading for 1 on that A site, but right now NIP still hold that man advantage. Xyp9x has been tagged up as well. Was on the short side, now backed up towards a boost, playing a headshot angle. Here's a flank that is well timed from dupreeh, and this could win Astralis the round in a very uncomfortable spot.
That he could. Specs very low, very, very low, but plenty of time here for the Ninjas to work with.
Ooh, they just turned around.
Oh boy. There's one. Can dupreeh grab a second? This would be one of those flanks that we're talking about, and he can't. Albeit, I think the damage has been done. At least over here for Astralis.
Oh, this is so smart. NIP, they're not even going to go into the A site. They've got Letcro so deep in mid. They're going to be loud and proud on this rotation. They want Astralis to hear this because Astralis don't expect a man so deep. Xyp9x, luckily rotating through CT. He's avoided death for the time being, but Astralis is second-guessing this. Either saving or not convinced by the loud noise of NIP's rotation, and that's going to be a bomb plant. Even with the late rotate from Astralis, Letcro is still here.
That's the thing, man. Astralis aren't dumb. They start to think, all right, so why on earth would they let us know that they're on that rotation? And so they had this doubt. I think, you know, they anticipate that it's going to be a fake. Obviously, they're never going to discover Letcro over in mid unless he comes to them, which is always an option. You can see this little Swede moving through the elevators. Oh, he just might.
He's hungry.
Yeah, he's looking for it. Oh, Magisk because it's short and he's got a Krieg as well. You'd love to hold on to that if you're Astralis. And of course Magisk will. I mean, he doesn't lose fights. So NIP, they get that 7th round regardless. And I think you did a great job there, Hugo, of catching that little note of the rotation down through mid.
Thank you, Harry. 7-1 though, not the game we were expecting to say the very least. This is Vertigo, this is day 1, map 1 and online, but Astralis really hoping for more from these guys as we move forward. Now has got to be the time, or never, but I'm really not hoping for that either.
Well, for Device to get into the game, this would certainly be the time. Currently sitting on 0-0 and 6, not where you really want him. AWP in hand this round. Maybe he goes for an aggressive peek right here. Maybe that's how he wants to jumpstart his appearance into this matchup. Gonna be twist there that probably gonna run it to, and quite the shot. Device really lighting him up there, and that's a good step in the right direction for Astralis. Is just gonna find one as well, and that also means that the numbers have very much tipped in the favor of Astralis.
Oh, dupreeh's watching for this though. They're double boosting. What kind of angle does this give you? dupreeh's seen something, and he's calling for support. Glaive has to be careful. Anyone getting close up by green will be seen, and Plopsky is spamming away. That gives away as to 2 players on this B site. The grenade could finish off dupreeh, but the molly will instead. Plopsky at least gets 1 man off of B. There's still another to deal with though. Glaive up close, and a man in middle that they could boost towards, but right now it's just a solo B effort here for NIP while they wait for the utility to be set up.
NIP are doing a very good job of just being tricky, right? Just coming out with these little gimmicks, these little tiny irritating details that make all the difference. And they've been able to turn this round on its head, down from a 3-on-5 into a 2-on-2, but now it all falls onto the shoulders of Nork. He has been able to retrieve this bomb. He'll tap it, hoping that that baits the peak, and instead he puts himself in the firing line of Magisk. So Astralis, they're actually going to break the curse here and now. They get that 2nd round locked in. Device as well is going to break his kind of quiet streak, right, with 2 big AWP kills there in that round. And I think for Astralis, that's what was missing thus far, right? NIP had done a great job of denying Device any sort of influence with this AWP on the very few occasions we've seen him have it. And immediately now, he's kind of taken that initiative back and he's looking good. So a second round for Astralis and a chance for a little bit more. Once again, we're on to Device as he goes to challenge this ramp position.
Yeah, again, 3 players here, but NIP have seen this aggressive play from Zipnix in the past. He did it in the second round with that, or sorry, the third round with that scavenged AK. We'll see if it comes to similar fruition. Rez is waiting for it. Molotov going to push him back. Zipnix hears it, flashes to follow. Will he try and get aggressive? Yes, but it's a double peek. NIP are standing side by side, back to back, and ready for it. Zipnix dead early and no possibility for a trade unless Device can hit this shot with the AWP. He did in the previous. Nork showing a bit of his head, but Device moving around the side instead. That grenade just a little bit too late, and he will take minimal damage as he backs off towards the A site. Astralis giving up with taking this fight over towards A, allowing NIP to move closer towards A, and with five Ts here as well, it looks like we could see an execute more sooner rather than later.
Stacking them up nicely. Nip have to be feeling pretty good about this so far, though. So far, they found themselves a 7-2. And that is certainly a good lead for them to have. Now, another thing to even talk about here was when we look at this next half, the T sides of Astralis, we've seen some woes there. We saw them in Katowice when they played against Vitality. They were able to pull that one out, but at the end of the day, there is still a massive hole here for them to have should Nip get that right step.
I think, you know, right now they're kind of showing that they've clearly been doing their homework, and I think there's even more gimmicks available to you in this second half if you're NIP. But let's focus on the here and now just quickly, because Vovsky has just doubled up inside of this bomb site, Trace. And actually now, Device getting dealt with over at short, and with 7 seconds left, that's just 3 seconds left to pod. They've got the bomb down, and Plopsky is on for 4. It's Magisk to try and beat, and nobody beats Magisk. That's the round for Astralis. He'll take a third, and I think we might be in for one of these games, and you don't get them often, so make sure you're watching, where Astralis just kind of need their strong man of Magisk to haul them through, and then eventually, kind of like midway through this game, midway through things looking a little bit dire, I think that's where you see Dupree start to come online. I think that's where you start to see Zipnix come into his own. But yeah, right now, we are looking to one man, and he's doing a pretty good job at it.
Talking of another man, though, we saw Glaive utilize that crane smoke that Astralis had been throwing. He crouched by the back of the crane on the default plant spot and was able to see the legs of the T's running up, getting 1 kill, getting traded, but still gimmicking a frag before NIP even realized he was there. So that coming out nicely for Astralis, but still tipsy-topsy as the money is not there on the CT side. NIP, are they going to go through the smoke? Ballsy cool. The flash actually hits Rez and he gets fully white. Device in the meantime, blind kills Nork, and Rez is so upset that that flash directly collided with him. It could have been a free trade. It could have been more for NIP, but it will only be a man advantage for Astralis. Happy to give away the A ramp now that they know that they've got this advantage. And in towards B, Plopsky sets his sights. Dupree is just spotting though, and that smoke can really delay this push once he gets the information. He does, it goes right down, and Plopsky is just going to hold off for the time being.
Has some utility being used over here by Lecro towards the A ramp. Rez going to be leading that charge, at least trying to get them into the fight here towards the A site. And that is a good shot there from Twist. He eliminates Zipex, takes him out of the round. Device also hurt in the process. 4v4. Oh my God, he's right there in the crosshair.
Oh no! Dear.
That's abrasive.
Oh man, Device can't catch a break today. He has been. NIP, dude, they live online. Look at this. They've got the bomb down, and this is going to be an 8th round. I mean, Dupree, as much as you got to love him, this is undoable. You know, he's coming out of this flank and he's sneaking like there's a chance, but there's not.
I think he's realized it.
Yeah.
Save coming in. NIP don't even need to really exit the forklift room. They could hold on to their guns there. Plenty of health. More common to see you save back on the top. Dupree might get one here though. Rez is tucked into the corner, but it seems like he'll go no further than that for the time being.
Yeah, we're looking at 8 on the board here for the Ninjas.
This is their map pick. That's what we have to remember. And, you know, Astralis picked the CT side, surely not expecting this much preparation from NIP. this much in the pocket, and we've really only seen A rounds, with the exception of that late rotation to B, and I think one other B round early on in the game. You know, NIP have been doing exactly what we expect, which is just constantly harassing this A site, throwing those wall of smokes, and even at a disadvantage like they were in that previous round, they get out of it ahead, they get themselves an 8th, and it is smoke spams that drags them forward. Astralis on eco.
Yes, Vertigo here, overpass next. Train will be the decider. And again, we have to get there first. Overpass, a good look there for Astralis, so that should prove to be pretty fruitful for their side.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good eye test, though, for just how much these NIP guys have been prepping. You know, like, that's something that we've spoke about, is how this format does lend itself very, very well to these teams that like to go away and plan out these games very methodically so. And I think, you know, when you've got Threat in the coaching role, combined with how hungry a lot of these guys are, I think NIP are going to have gone away and have brushed up on all this.
I mean, that should be Astralis. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
that should be Astralis.
But it's like, man, nah, the flip side to that, though, is like, what the hell is Zonic going to look at, bro?
Yeah,
NIP,
true.
like, in their
Start watching their own demos.
Watching dig matches, you
like,
know?
yeah,
like,
what are you going to be looking at if you're Zonic? No, you go into this if you're Astralis and you say, well, we should be beating an IP, so let's just play our own game. And that's how I imagine they've dealt with it as well. I don't think this is one that they originally kind of thought they were going to lose sleep over. And I think that's why it's still been a pretty one-sided affair thus far for NIP. They're even in this round now, 5v2. Admittedly, it was only this kind of partial investment from Astralis. You know, a couple of players here and there held onto some armor and some SMGs. But I'm not expecting that these are going to find anything else, and this could be a flawless round for NIP. That's going to set them up brilliantly for the remainder of this first half.
The sleepover has come to an end, Harry. There is a curfew. Astralis, they've been tucked in.
Yeah, pack it up. Street lights are on. Time to go home.
Oh,
wow.
dear.
A little bit of struggle there for Nock, but he is able to knock down Dupree.
Nice.
Give us Zip-X at 15 HP. Thanks, Hugo. I was really practicing.
Oh, dear. No one's covering
Okay.
Twist. That is, yeah, that's a bit of an oversight from NIP. But they can get
Zinix
the
wins
ore.
these. No, I had... oh, no, okay, sadly not. But
Maybe next
NIP,
time, next
yeah.
time, next time.
9 on the board. You know, if there's one thing that we can start to get excited about, it's that these first few rounds weren't a fluke from NIP, and that they really might be serious in this series about not only taking it the distance, but
this is
being
live?
contenders. Yeah, man, I know. It seems wild, doesn't it? Digital precision shooter device holds the 3rd most AWP frags in the past 6 months at big events.
So I was
Digital
probably first.
precision shooter, DPS. Is that
Yeah,
that intentional? Whoever did that?
It would appear so.
Smart.
Yeah.
So technically, someone had to go write that all
Yeah,
out.
more
right?
brain cells than this desk combined. So I'm pretty, pretty impressed with it.
Depends on the day of the week, Hugo. And for Harry,
Pretty much any day of the week.
well,
And,
maybe just the ones that end in Y.
Look at this angle.
yeah. Wait, that's all of them.
Yeah, man.
Case in point.
Yeah,
There
so
we have
NIP over towards the B-bomb site. Let's all bear witness to this, because they're switching things up. They've actually gone ahead and crueled Plopsky. Man, Plopsky's like a little rat. I didn't want to say it, but how is he getting into all these positions? Oh, hang on, wait, man, just the rat
hello.
catcher, the Pied Piper. He's seen him. Oh, it's a backpack's out.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's trapped. Ah, it's chaos. There we go.
my
Plopsky's gonna get it, and that's the fight. Dupree back with a trade, and keeping Astralis in this one, and that's actually been enough to send NIP away from this B side of the map. Now, that was never really their kind of end goal in Lecro. He doesn't. He's not there. He knows he should be a good boy and keep wrapping this A site, but he's got faith in his teammates. There's only Device there. He's looking. He's hunting for Dupree. He doesn't want to let Astralis get away with these AWPs at the end of this round.
Pretty good observation right there. And we have seen it before where Lecro just gets
no.
himself into those very
no.
pivotal positions, and this being one of them. Dupree falls as sort of calculated. It's going to be up to Device, and he's not going to be able to do a damn thing with it. Twist ops him, gives us 10 rounds on the board for the Ninjas of Pyjamas to the 3 of Astralis.
In my head, I'm wondering, do Astralis even know what's going on with these mid flanks from Lecro? Because right there, you know, that rotation comes in from Dupree. He gets killed from Lecro, but because Device is on short, in theory, Astralis could be thinking, oh, he just walked through the site and took CT. No. He fully flanked mid and went through the spawn. So at this point, if Astralis aren't catching on to these little details, the fact that NIP are sending these mid lurks in, you know, I mean, things are already bad, but they could get worse. 12-3 is on the cards, and with an eco coming up, 11-4 at a bare minimum seems like an inevitability.
See, and this feels like an NIP that have threats sat in their ears right now, you know, talking them through this. And for Astralis, I'm wondering, man, like, is Zonic having tea with the family? Because they're riding this one solo, it feels like.
No tack pauses, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We haven't seen those come through now.
It is online, so
yeah,
you can imagine they're constantly going to be chatting.
But this round, I mean, once again, no money over on the Astralis side. That's something that they've had to deal with a hell of a lot.
Yeah, they're fighting tooth and nail. Not good enough, though. We're looking at 11th round on the board here for Nip. And the end of the half coming up.
One of the good things about Astralis is that whenever you do like make jokes about them, obviously they're incredible, so it's not real. But it's like if you say this about a team that isn't actually that good, suddenly everyone gets offended.
So
yeah, Astralis, man, this is a little bit lackluster thus far over on this.
That's not really an insult,
side.
though. Of course,
no,
I
meant about the Zonic thing.
Okay.
Having tea instead of, but obviously he's not. Maybe he is. I don't know.
Well, the rabbit hole we have gone.
Let's get out of it. Let's focus on this. 11-3, NIP, unstoppable.
Yeah, right now they are sitting pretty, boys.
I'd love to see some aggression. I'd love to see a change of pace from Astralis. I'm aware that, you know, these flanks have been countered at times, and there isn't a lot of options for CTs, you know, pushing further than the ramp room, because NIP are always going to have players bottom forklift. But even if you try and cross a player into ladder, and it didn't even try and flank further than that, just took the control and, you know, go off audio cues, that could be a lot more helpful. Right now, Astralis are just waiting, not really putting much onus in mid, allowing Letcro to get these big flanks. Twist, nice from Device as he hits the second shot on Twist, takes down the Orb, Rez with the trade, and he's just lining them up. The Krieg broken as we know it with a double kill. One of those Orbs gone, and Astralis down a man.
Part of the game, Hugo. It is part of the game. 3 versus 4. We've got Dupree, Glaive, and Magisk left alive here. But so far, it's going to be Nip that has their number. 11-3 half. They are sitting very pretty. Ooh. And they're going to continue that pretty rampage. Running right into this B-bomb site. Dupree responds on a knock with the AWP. The bomb does get planted in the meantime. Dupree and Glaive left to retake 2v3.
Yeah, Plopsky's looking for him. Dupree looking to try and do something nutty, but he gets caught there, and he goes from Dupree to Dupree as he.
What?
Yeah, you know that's a read.
Explain yourself right now.
That's the inner demon seeping through Glaive. He's full of demons. He is a demon himself, and he's trying to pull this one out from the clutches of hell itself. But Plopsky is one step ahead, and NIP they're going to take a 12-3 half.
Yes, they are going to take a 12-3 half, and that also means that we're going to be taking a halftime break ourselves. Right now, Astralis not sitting pretty, but that could all very much change in the second half. Don't go anywhere, anyone. We'll be right back after this.
Like a fire in the eye of a hurricane. Always told, stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so high they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive.
I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I passed the point of no return, something is calling me. It's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Put all of your POG champs aside. The hot match of the day is here. Astralis and the Ninjas of Pyjamas going toe-to-toe, or rather, it's going to be Ninjas of Pyjamas really running around Vertigo, doing whatever they please here, and Astralis finding themselves with 3 rounds totals. We switch halves. Now we will be looking at Astralis on their T side. My name is Trace. I'm joined with Harry and Hugo. We're ready to jump back into it.
Looking on the bright side here, Trace, is if you didn't feel like you saw enough A-site attacks, well, don't you worry. Astralis, I'm sure they're coming back in with a few A executes for us as well on this T side. It's their bread and butter, and boy, have NIP been abusing that to every riot.
Look at that scoreboard. It's ugly, ugly, ugly across the board over on the Astralis side. I really want to start to see some of these boys showing exactly why we call them the best in the world. This is online. This is your chance to turn the server into your playground. And for NIP, that is what Rez and Plopsky have been delivering in high supply. Plopsky has been so much fun to watch because he always seems to end up in these positions he shouldn't be in. You'll be watching and it's like, okay, yeah, so, you know, Dupree's holding back B. Oh, he's got Glaive with him, right? Oh, wait, hang on a minute. Plopsky's behind them both. And you just don't know how or why he's got there. He's been so good at creating this space for the Ninjas. And I think, you know, Rez as well, bringing up at the top of the board. Both of these guys have been enough already for this squad. We've still got that much more firepower kind of aching to get into the action for NIP.
You look at this game as it stands currently. You look at how just monumental the first half it was, and you have to give some of that credit to NIP, who have really controlled the economy game through and throughout right there. They really held on to as many guns as long as they possibly could, Hugo.
Yeah, I mean, Rez certainly did the opposite as well by taking everything away from Astralis. 19-7, he would not let a save happen. Astralis couldn't get away with those orbs, and boy, that's a lot of utility for a pistol round. I cannot wait to see what Astralis are bringing to the table. Still favored on the GG bet odds for the series. Remember, this is a best of 3, the first map of which is NIP's pick, but we're going to find out whether this is going to be a double fake from Astralis or just the old pump and dump into the A site. We'll have to wait and see. Players outside of the ramp right now, and some utility being set up from Magisk.
Well, we are wired up, fired up, ready to go here into this second pistol, 12-3, and it's going to be Astralis trying to get the bounce back. And I don't mean when you texted whoever, and it bounced right back, Harry.
It does that sometimes, yeah, man. I mean, you know, dude, I mean, I can't say more than that. We've all been there, right? We've
Your
all
teeth's
been
sticking a little bit right there, Harry.
Yeah,
What's going on with that? A little caramel.
Yeah, you know,
Caramel.
We've tried to glue his mouth shut for the better of the
It
broadcast.
hasn't worked. I've eaten the glue. Classic me move, really.
Now, that is something we'll discuss after the fact.
Well.
We're going to discuss that after the fact. We're going to look at Astralis planting the bomb, getting into this A site, getting things back on course here, Hugo.
Yeah, I must have eaten the glue, man, because Astralis actually have a bomb down, and now 4 on 5. They're trying to hold on to it. Rez actually in with the return, and device, go on, go on, go on. Ah! No, there we go. It went the other way. Oh, sorry.
Calm down. Oh, that's a shot.
I get a little psyched up.
Well, psyched up as that. Astralis holding on, tooth and nail, get the bomb planted, win the pistol round. And then Harry also blows a gasket in the meantime. That's all right, though. We're still here. Don't you worry.
Yeah, a nice start from Astralis. They just went straight into A. They had that Molotov for the post-plant actually to cut off a retake for NIP, slow them down just that little bit. Device gets a kill on a player he's not even aiming at. AD strafing 101, I guess. And they win the round. So lovely stuff. Astralis coming in with lots of SMGs for the second one. They don't want to give away any AKs or Kriegs to NIP to what could be a successful force buy. They often are. Astralis, that's both pistols now. Sorry, excuse me, I'm pretty sure NIP picked up the first pistol and Astralis won the 4, so back on that one. But either way, Scout up for Twist and pistols for NIP. Similar setup to what Astralis had on this exact round 15 ago. Heavy A-site control and Astralis just taking their time. Lots of utility, no rush here. Although no one holding any kind of flank means they need to go sooner rather than later. Dupree is at the bottom of Forklift, and now with the smoke starting to rain in, NIP are trying to delay this push from Astralis.
That they are. The round comes to a little bit of a quiet lull here, if you will. Albeit Rez is going to be there entrenched inside of this A site. He's going to definitely be one to not be messed with. He's on fire in the first half, looking to carry it over here in the second half. It's going to be Astralis trying to carry this bomb up into this A site.
With every smoke that Astralis throw down, there's a re-smoke from NIP on that crane. That makes things very difficult for Glaive. He's seen that smoke, he plays around it in the first half, and so he knows how to deal with it. Rez gone immediately. The Molotov does find success from NIP, but the bomb plant is down from Astralis, and past this point, even with a kit on Lecro, it's going to get very difficult for NIP. A save wouldn't even be a bad call, but they're going to give it a look, see what they can get.
A retake scenario on our hands. Or at least try to hurt Astralis a little bit in the bank account. Looks like they want to try to press this just a little bit more, maybe get something out of it. This will be Magist coming out on top. Mac-10 ablazing. Turned sideways, running through the site. Dupree's going to join him as well. That's going to give another round for Astralis. Slowly but surely etching their way back into the game. The Etch-a-Sketch.
What are they drawing?
Right now, trying to draw up a T-half, but...
How on earth did Etch-a-Sketch even work? I still don't know till this day.
It is a strange thing, it really is.
Yeah, I don't even know if science has an answer to that one.
Did you guys have Etch-a-Sketches when you were growing up? I
Yeah,
figured you grew up with like iPads and stuff, so...
Well, yeah, no, that came just after, but like the Etch-a-Sketch was the original iPad, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so,
basically.
Draw your own movies.
Oh, dear.
You know, iPads are out, but I could only ever afford the Etch-a-Sketches, so that's where I ended up.
Well, we ended up over here on the A
dear.
site again, a shootout over on the ramp. And, well, not a whole lot of contest here from Nip. Just Lecro left alive with a deagle in his hands. And surely the bomb will find its way into the site pretty soon. They just want to be very cautious. Lecro could be anywhere, given the round at hand. And the weaponry on file. Ooh. It's not going to do too much. Astralis put a 6 on the board.
They're just the building blocks, the foundations being laid here for this second half. We don't, of course, want to count them out after getting 12-3'd. I think that would be a massive mistake, especially with them picking up the pistol. And now the pressure really is on NIP. It's like, if you can pick up this first rifle round, slow Astralis down early on, get yourself on that CT half, and things are good. If not, then that's when you really start believing in the Danes. We know what they can do, and we know what they will do.
I want to see what Rez has to offer in this round. This guy's currently sitting at over 180 R, over 21 frags. Like, this guy has found a rhythm here on Vertigo today versus Astralis. So perhaps he can give us a little bit more of that magic, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, right? Right now, he has been the player kind of setting up for these flash peeks from the AWP in the hands of Nork down towards ramp. And so this round, it's kind of no exception to that. He throws the flashbang in. Allows for both of these players to go for a bit of a challenge, and they put a lot of utility downrange. They put a lot of stock in trying to get this damage off early, and no duel presents itself as a result of those smokes being down. So Astralis are just allowed to hide behind it. Now, thankfully, Plopsky's kind of done a good job of alleviating some pressure here with this kill in this round onto Dupree. It's left NIP a man up, and it kind of mitigates the danger that not getting those duels down at the ramp presented to NIP early on. Now the kind of question is just, can he keep it going? And he's not had any kind of problems in this map thus far. He hasn't shown any signs of slowing down as Plopsky. Still alive, still a threat. And Twist is here to support him. No utility here for NIP on these two players in the bomb site. Apart from this flash on Plopsky, he's really going to have to work hard to get utility out of that.
Oh, the timing on the jump, though. Magist goes up as Rez comes in for the repeat, and that smoke has faded, giving Plopsky a way to fight as well. 2 men down for Astralis as they finally get their footing inside of the site, but not for long. Twist has climbed up and above. Can he fire off? No, Device. Quick with the AWP on his second kill of the round. Gonna have to find a multi-kill if he wants to win this one. Teammate dropped as well. 14 seconds. Bomb under his control, but if he's going to get aggressive to find this kill, he's going to need them both. No time to retreat, no time to back up, and no time to shine. Nork is here with the AWP, and NIP will get on the board nice and early.
Knock very aware right there, but the idea that, you know, obviously Device can push through, and he did, and obviously that pays dividends. And you look at this, though, I mean, Harry, you said danger. I say danger.
I like that one.
But we're not quite there. Obviously, they're losing rounds.
Trey, save some of the gold.
No. We got to get out in front of it, guys. You think all the prospectors that went out west, you think that they didn't get in front of it?
Yeah, that's
they
true.
Had to.
Yeah.
That was the whole
You
purpose.
got your pan, you're in the river, you're shaking, you're shaking, and you'll strike it sometimes. Twist will strike a man in middle as Glaive is down early, and this is how the game can fall apart, because not only the first rifle round taken from NIP, but the man advantage in the second. Scary situation to be in for Astralis. Do they have it in them to dig themselves out of this spot?
Dare I say that if we were on land, we would have already seen some timeouts. I'm just going to say it. We're looking at 4 on both sides. There would certainly be some timeouts over on the side of Astralis in that first half.
Yeah, most definitely. I think at this point, I think it is just a case that maybe they have old mates on it kind of chiming in every now and again anyway. We don't really know.
We'll never really know.
That's the online fun.
Is it a technical timeout, or do they just need a bathroom break?
Who knows?
It's all up in the
Well,
air.
because that used to be the classic, right?
Yeah.
Like, you'd hear these stories about people calling pauses, and it's because they've had, like, food delivery show up while they're midway through a game.
Isn't that just you and Pugs?
Yeah. Well, you know, man, you didn't have to
Why'd
call
you
me
do
out
him
like
like
that.
that?
But, man, yeah, you know.
Yeah, you'll hear about these people that do exactly what I do.
I'm not playing the game, you know, on salary yet. So
Yeah, not ex-pros yet. Not pros yet.
Well, you're going to have to give up your Pacific Assault career to obviously pursue this. And I think that is something you need to take into consideration. Sort of like the consideration that we have right here. It was a little bit of Device, and however, what little bit they started to do there for Astralis just did not pan out. It's just going to be the last one to fall, and we're looking at potentially map point here. Nick trying to work their way up to the top.
We talk about who's going to be AWPing for NIP. Well, the second they've got money, both of them have already pulled it out. Twist with 3. Nork closes the round onto Magist, trying to clutch it out. And Astralis, they attempt to throw in a mid-split towards A with numbers, and it gets completely swept from underneath them. NIP, with these AWPs, are looking deadly.
Well, here's one of those timeouts. You know what? Sometimes you kind of forecast these things. You kind of prophesize the fact that there is a timeout now being called by Astralis, and they really need to get it together. The game has come down to the wire for them. Just them, though, not me.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's over because it's Astralis, and I feel like that's blasphemy to ever say that, but this isn't looking good, Trace. This is looking over.
It's bleak, I think.
If it was any other team, I would have said it by now, but I'm holding out.
Well, hold out if you will. This timeout does come to a close. And that ultimately means this is a round where they need an answer from NIP. CT side looking good for the Swedes. I don't see them changing too much of their method going into one of these last rounds.
Ooh, how did he hit one there? He's going to drop an Incendiary as he falls away, and that just slows Astralis down. They don't actually get any presence over to the top of ramp as a result. Oh, I don't even know if they want to commit with this. They've got utility to make it happen. They've got one flash on Magisk, you know, Molotov to maybe burn a player out from the boost. The fact that the AWP was there, I don't think they're going to use that on sandbags. They've already heard players fall on bags, so maybe they just check that straight up. Nork has been boosted and does a little jump up, gets Glaive, and now he's back behind the smoke again. Zipnix is trying to close the gap, and close it he shall, back into a 4-on-4 as the bomb goes down here. Astralis juggling these weapons out from the bomb site. Zipnix, ooh, he just about gets away, doesn't he? Down 3 short, rejoins the rest of the gang. NIP, they've got a retake in a round that Astralis really didn't have much to work with. Still the favor massively kind of leading the way of NIP, but there's a chance for the Danes here to deny map point to the Swedes.
Oh, these smokes are incredible for NIP. They completely cut Astralis off. They can't catch any vision. They can't catch any information, and no one's even on the bomb, but Astralis don't know that. The tap has been made. Magista's got to go wide, and he'll get traded just to 3. Knife potentially, but he's going to run close. Oh, Nork saves the day, and he gets 3 in the round. I think there's just enough time.
Baby.
He's got it.
So close.
The fastest man in the server, Nork. Oh, look at this. It starts with that. That's how you know it's going to be a good round. And then it ends with a little flick, no scope up from the bomb to stop getting killed. NIP, my boss told me to prepare statistics for Nork, but I didn't have any.
Well,
so here we are.
You can throw this one, 100% win rate against Astralis on the ESL Pro League, you know?
There we go.
Wow.
In a round's time.
In a
round's time.
And that might be short-lived if they lose the series.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean,
take it while you can.
a broken clock is right twice a day.
Broken.
Boy,
There
am
it
I
is.
broken.
Broken Glock or broken clock?
Bit of both.
I guess I could have just said 2020, really, but I wasn't sure if there'd been any, online matches, but no.
Well,
This is it.
This could be it. Yeah, this very well could be. Nip find themselves sitting pretty, 15-6. This could be where the line is drawn here for Astralis, at least in this best of 3. Again, we do move on to the second map. Overpass. Good trades right here for Astralis. Really trying to keep them alive. 3 versus 3. We look at the A site.
And do remember, we've seen nothing but A takes all game long. Even on Astralis' T side, they've had 1 B round so far. That grenade almost ends the life of Zitnix, but luckily enough, Bullets might have to do it. Instead, they will. Twist will close the map, and that's NIP 16-6 on the first game of the day, or at least for these guys in Group A. They are going to lock in a map win against the best in the world.
They certainly are. Vertigo falls to the side of Nip. That does set us up for Overpass, the pick of Astralis, and this is your hot match of the day. We'll be right back after this break, everyone. We have another map coming your way.